The loneliest photo ever taken was not made by a person. It was made by a machine that was leaving us. In 1990, Voyager 1 was already far beyond the planets it had been sent to visit. Jupiter was behind it. Saturn was behind it. The famous flybys were over, and the spacecraft was moving toward the dark edge of the solar system. Then NASA sent one last command to the camera. Turn around. That sounds simple, but emotionally it is strange. Most cameras look toward the next thing. Voyager looked back. From about 3.7 billion miles away, it pointed toward the sun and photographed the solar system as a family portrait. NASA planned a mosaic of 60 images. 6 planets appeared. But the image that stayed in human memory was Earth. Not Earth as a blue marble. Not Earth as a map. Not Earth as a place with borders, names, weather, traffic, messages and deadlines. Just a pale blue dot, less than a pixel, floating inside a ray of scattered sunlight. This is where the psychology begins. Your brain is built to treat your immediate world as the center. The room feels large because you are inside it. The problem feels large because it is happening to you. The argument feels large because your nervous system is standing in the middle of it. So your brain quietly makes a stage. On that stage, your life is close, bright, loud, and urgent. Other things become background. The pale blue dot breaks that stage. It does not say your life is fake. It simply moves the camera. The camera is no longer inside your room. It is no longer inside your country. It is no longer inside the orbit of Earth. It is far away, outside the story we usually tell ourselves, and from there, every human certainty becomes visually small. Every ocean is in the dot. Every city is in the dot. Every language, every song, every frightened child, every hospital, every wedding, every war, every apology that never arrived. All of it is inside one tiny mark of blue light. That is why the photograph feels lonely. It removes the audience from the theater. For a second, you are not the main character looking out at space. Space is looking back at you. But the picture is not only lonely, it is also strangely calming. Because the same distance that makes Earth small also makes our panic smaller. Your brain cannot hold 2 scales at full size at the same time. When you really feel the scale of space, the inbox shrinks, the insult shrinks, the mistake shrinks. The version of you that was replaying one conversation all night gets quieter. Not because the problem disappears, because the frame has changed. This is one reason cosmic images are so powerful for anxious people. They do not argue with your thoughts. They move your attention to a larger frame. The nervous system asks, is this threat everything? The universe answers, no. It is something, but it is not everything. There is another piece most people miss. After the family portrait was finished, Voyager's cameras were turned off forever to save power. The machine kept going. The image stayed behind. That makes the photograph feel like a farewell. The most famous picture of Earth was taken by something that was leaving Earth for good. There is no return shot, no closer version, no second chance to say, wait, take one more. That is why the image has the feeling of a final glance, and final glances are powerful because they simplify life. When something is leaving, you suddenly know what mattered. You stop caring about the exact shape of the argument. You see the person. You stop caring about being right for one more minute. You see the home. The pale blue dot does that to the entire planet. It shows Earth as a home before it shows Earth as a battlefield. A shared home, a fragile home. A home so small that every border is invisible. This is not a soft idea, it is a visual fact. From 3.7 billion miles away, no border can be seen. No political team can be seen. No rich neighborhood or poor neighborhood can be seen. No private embarrassment can be seen. Only the dot. That can feel humiliating, but it can also feel merciful. Because some of the pain we carry depends on the illusion that everyone is watching. Everyone is not watching. Most of the universe is not even aware of the stage, and somehow that does not make us worthless. It makes attention more precious. If the universe is vast and mostly silent, then a person listening to you is not a small thing. If Earth is a dot, then a hand held in a hospital room is not ordinary. If all of history fits inside a speck of light, then kindness is not childish. It is one of the rare events the dot can produce. This is the paradox. The pale blue dot makes us smaller and more valuable at the same time. Smaller because the universe does not orbit our feelings. More valuable because feelings exist here at all. On this tiny blue point, matter learned to miss someone. Matter learned to forgive. Matter learned to write music about the night sky. Matter learned to build a spacecraft, send it past the giant planets, and ask it to look home one last time. That is not nothing. That is astonishing. So when the photograph makes you quiet, it is not because it empties life of meaning. It empties life of some noise. It removes the false size of things. It turns down the volume on panic, status, embarrassment, and winning. Then what remains is simpler. There is a small planet. There are temporary people. There is limited time. There is a chance to be gentler than we were yesterday. The loneliest photo ever taken is lonely because no one could stand beside Voyager when it took it. But it is healing because all of us are inside the picture together. Every person you love, every person you have lost, every stranger you will never meet. All carried on the same pale blue dot. And maybe that is why the image lasts. It does not tell us to escape Earth. It tells us to return to Earth differently. Not as the center of the universe, as the only home we have ever known. There is also a practical reason this image stays with people. It gives the mind a way to step back without giving up. That is different from saying, none of this matters. The pale blue dot says something more precise. It says, your fear is real, but it is not the whole sky. Your loneliness is real, but it is not the whole story. Your mistake happened, but it is not large enough to fill the universe. This is why people return to cosmic images at night. A nebula, a galaxy field, a distant planet, or one tiny dot of Earth can do something language struggles to do. It makes scale visible. And once scale becomes visible, the body often understands before the mind does. The shoulders drop a little. The breath slows a little. The thought that felt absolute becomes one thought among many. That does not solve every problem. But it creates space around the problem. And sometimes space is the first form of relief. So the loneliest photo ever taken is not only a science image, it is a tiny training device for perspective. Look at the dot, and the mind practices holding two truths at once. We are small, and we matter to each other. We are temporary, and this moment still counts. We are not the center of the universe, and still for a little while we can be home for one another. That is the quiet power of the photograph. Voyager did not bring back treasure. It brought back distance, and distance used gently can become mercy.